Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's A&D Mortgage webinar. I'm Carl Holman, your host, Communications Manager here at A&D Mortgage. And today I'm going to be joined by my guest, Nadezhda Smokovin from our broker support team. I'll introduce her in just a few minutes. But we'll go ahead and lay down the ground rules for folks who are watching us from YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So again, since you can't see us, your microphones are muted, so we have a clean screen. But you do have the ability to type questions into the comments function on whichever platform you're watching us from, and it'll aggregate, and we'll be able to show and screen and answer the questions live. We'll get through the formal part of our presentation first, and then we'll go through the questions. Um, so with that, first, let me go ahead and introduce Nadia Smokovin, our
Hey guys.
broker support specialist. And Nadia, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us a little about you, and then we'll jump into our guided tour of the website.
Sure. Hey guys. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm pretty sure that with most of you who's watching, we've been already in touch previously. We've done several webinars as well. So hope this one will be a helpful webinar. We will just go through some of the tools that our website offers and how it can be used.
All right, great. Thanks. And I'll go ahead and first tell people a little bit about the company who may not be aware of who we are. So A&D Mortgage is a fully serviced, excuse me, is a full serviced non-QM lender. We also do government and jumbo and conventional loans. We've been in business for approximately 17 years, based out of Hollywood, Florida. We're backed by a company called Imperial Fund, and that provides us with the ability to write our own proprietary guidelines, make decisions on lending practices and who we choose to lend to, and what level of risk we're willing to take. Um, and with that, we also are licensed pretty close to nationwide. We just got a license earlier this week in the state of Alabama. There are 40 states where you're not required to have a license if you'd like to do a business loan with us. Otherwise, we're pretty much nationwide, and you can do whatever you want to do with us. And we've got both wholesale, retail, and correspondent lending capabilities, so we can handle pretty much any scenario. Um, so I'll turn it back over to Nadezhda, and she can tell us a little bit about Quick Pricer, and I'll actually pull it up on screen so you can see it.
Hey guys, so this will be like one of the main tools that you can use on our website to pre-qualify your borrowers, to go over scenarios. You basically just either do what Carl is doing, just like move this arrow, or you can type in your numbers, you can type in the FICO score, you can change by typing the LTV. You provide the property type, you provide the compensation type, make sure that the state applied correctly, because some of the states have the limitations with the prepayment penalties. So if you don't have any of the states listed in the drop down, then just select all other states. Those are like without limitations, like for example, like Florida does. And it's going to give you the quote on the right side with the ability to get program, which means that you are filling out the form, and some of our, like one of our AEs will get in touch with you. So that will apply if you are not signed up with us yet. If you are signed up with us and you want to go over the scenario, please contact your assigned AE. And if any of the scenarios are not falling in your borrower story, so if something is outside of these guidelines, that's something that can be reviewed by our exception committee. So just have your AE to file an exception request, and they will be able to manually adjust in the actual loan the information and the pricing. So basically, yeah, it's very intuitive. You can play around with discounts, points, with the credit, with the lender credit, with your prepayment penalties. You can see exactly what's the monthly payment will be for your borrower and pre-qualify your clients using this tool. Right now, it covers only non-QM programs, but in the close future, it's gonna covering the conventional and conforming loans as well. So stay tuned with that, and soon, pretty soon, that's gonna be a full spectrum quick pricer.
All right. Tell us about Automated Decision
Okay.
Manager.
Yeah, some of you already are dealing with that. It's our new portal, new broker portal. That we just launched about like 4 or 5 months ago. It's very, very intuitive portal. I'm not sure if Carl will be able to get into the portal itself, but we have a separate webinar on that topic that you can review on the side. But yeah, just click on the partner login on our website, and it's gonna have two options: old portal and new one. So old portal doesn't accept any new submissions anymore, only if you have like currently files in process that have been submitted through that portal. You can go ahead and sign in there. Otherwise, please use our new portal. Just your email address will be your login password. The rest, just move with the workflow. It's going to allow you to manage your brokerage. It allows broker managers to create credentials, to reset credentials. You don't really like even need to reach out to us for those purposes. In this new portal, you're able to work with the file, to move the file to different pipelines. Let's say you have uploaded almost every condition to the file and you want the file to go to the final review to underwriter. You just click on the button send to underwriter, and it's going to go automatically to underwriter's pipeline. If you have like any changes requests, like you have forgot to apply, like to add the co-borrower to the file, you can request the change through the change request button, or like any changes can be requested very intuitive way, so you don't need to reach out to different departments and see who can help that. Just use that button. If you need to request 3-day CD, the same thing, button, and it goes directly to the queue. So this system allows you like more have more control on the file, move file quickly through different departments who work on the file on our end, without like reaching out to to your, even like to AE, and see who can help you. So please use those tools, because they are very, very user friendly and really can speed up the process of closing your file. What next we have, Carl?
We're going to talk about documents and forms, your other favorite section.
Yeah, so that will require you to go back to our website. Yeah, so this resources tool, actually, like all full drop down, will be very useful for you guys. It has like different um yeah, turnaround times, so that's going to be updated on a daily basis if anything changes. So if you need to see how long it takes for us to keep your file on different stages, please refer to this field, the turnaround times and documents and forms. That will be like really your go-to. Like even like, let's say, mortgagee clause that you guys are always requiring for each and every loan. That's where you can find it. If you need to request 3-day CD, the same form, the closing request form is here. And every other form, like income calculation, different type of scenario request, foreign national sample letters. Yes, if you want to like sign up with us, like the branch wants to get approved or something like that, please follow this become approved broker forms. But the main thing here that I wanted to point is our guidelines. Yeah, so the non-QM guidelines will be like something that you can just use Control F, and whatever you guys are looking for, any limitations, any property types, you can just type in the property type using Control F, and it's going to show you all guidelines about it. That's very like easy to review, and feel free to use that if you want to learn more about our eligibilities. Okay.
Next, we'll talk about Appraisal Center.
I would also want to cover first. Can you Carl, go back to the website before
Hmm.
Appraisal Center to that
Uh,
resources tool. Yeah,
concierge.
because there is one resource that like can help you to qualify your borrowers for our bank statement program. This tool takes about 48 to 72 hours to get back to you. This is our team calculating your bank statement income. You don't have to have the actual loan with us yet. You can just provide your 12 or 24 months bank statements via this form. You just fill out every field and upload the PDFs into the attachment button, and our team will calculate those for you and provide you with a spreadsheet with the exact calculations, with the breakdown, with different expense ratios. And that's something that you will be able to use for your future files or for your current files, whatever works for you. But please feel free to use this one because that's like a great tool for you to save time on these calculations. Now you can go back to appraisal.
All right. Thank you. I will be glad to do that for you, ma'am. All right. Back to Appraisal Center. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Let's start
Yes.
the slide first so they can see what they can
Yes,
find
our
on
appraisal
appraisal.
center, that is something that is provided not only on our website but also in our portal. So each file will have an appraisal button. You can proceed with appraisal orders when the disclosures have been signed, so please keep that in mind. This appraisal center allows you to have only one set of credentials for each and every AMC. You don't have to get approved with any of them. You just use our portal. So you basically fill out the form. You are either uploading the 3.4 file or manually fill out the appraisal form, which is basically like the information from your loan, from the borrower's information, the property information, and you will be able to get the quote from each and every AMC covering that particular area. So that is very handy. Again, you don't need to get approved. You don't need to have several sets of credentials. Just with one application you will be able to get the quote from each and every AMC, and then whenever you are placing the appraisal order, it's very easy to communicate with them directly, so you have a full control over the order. um, the same applies like with the credentials. Whoever is managing your team, they will have the ability to like work with the portal itself. They will be able to add credentials, review all the appraisal orders placed by the company. um, and that's kind of it on appraisal. Again, we have a separate webinar, so if you want to see how it's like how it works to place the order, to get the payment, to modify the order, please go back to our, I think it was like about 2 weeks ago, webinar, and review that process. But if you will scroll down here on this page, you will see that there are a lot of like video tutorials, the manuals, and the AMC itself. It has a very useful, like it has like a kind of like question mark sign that has a bunch of explanation on different matters. So please feel free to use that one as well.
Great. Thanks. All right. Let me cover 80 Studio. All right. Let me pull this slide first so people know. All right. So for those people who maybe have tuned into some of our webinars, you probably have seen that we've done one or two on 80 Studio. But 80 Studio is our online marketing platform. It functions somewhat similar to Canva. There's hundreds of templates within the platform that you can choose, from flyers to emails to social media, and go in there and set up an account. You'll load in your photo and your logo, and then as soon as you go to start adjusting a template, it'll auto populate in all the information that you've done, so it minimizes the amount of work that you need to do. You can go in there and change colors out, some photography, a few other things. I can pull it up fairly quickly just to do a quick. Yeah, and the visibility. I'm an administrator of the whole thing, so the visibility that I have will be a little more than what most people will see. There's a section specifically designated for our broker partners, so this is what our broker partners will have visibility to. Um, so as you'll see, we've got dozens upon as soon as it finishes loading, dozens of flyers, both for single branding, and if you want to co-brand with a realtor or another licensed partner within your shop, you can do that. We've got DSCR loans, all the conventional programs, an array of non-QM, social media templates that you can go in and just quickly and easily just go in. Takes a second for it to load. So you just go in, you can change colors. Uh, you gotta go in the layers tab. But as soon as you pick the picture, you can go in. If you want to find a new picture, you just go into images. If you want to picture a building, there's all royalty free images. So you can pick the pyramid and change it out if that's what you're looking for. So again, it's fairly intuitive. You can be up and running within the matter of minutes um, once you've got the account set up. So that is AD Studio sort of in a nutshell. I'll cover AD News Chat really quickly. I don't need to demonstrate that. So AD News Chat is a platform on something called Telegram that you can download from Google Play or the App Store, and it's a secured messenger service that also has a bot function attached to it, that you can have a lot of the same functionality that you see on our website, and get access to similar to the videos and everything else. You can get again access to our turn times, access to the blog posts, which I'll talk about that in a minute. So there's a wide range of items that you can look at when you subscribe to the news chat. We've referenced AD Learning Center a few times, tangentially. So AD Learning Center is the central resource where you can find all of our information about past and webinars that we've done. So every webinar that we've ever done, including last week's on the foreign nationals. We did one a few weeks ago on prepping your files correctly. There was an AD Studio one about 5 or 6 weeks ago, so you can go watch that and get a more detailed overview of how to set things up there. Overviews of our product, all products, other webinars that we've done with both Nadia and her counterpart Natalia, where we just have an open forum and you guys can ask questions about anything that the broker support team does. So all recordings are here. If you want to see other upcoming webinars, you can click that button here. And these are all the ones that we currently have scheduled, lined up till the end of next month. We cover again a wide range of topics: investment loans, our jumbo products. We're going to talk about self-employed borrowers, and we're going to do a little bit on our correspondent lending towards the end of the month. So all of our recordings are here on AD Learning Center. Again, it's under the resources tab, Learning Center. So we'll cover that. And then now Market Digest is available through our website. So AD Market Digest is a weekly video series that we do every Monday for the most part. And we take a look at what's happening on capital markets within the mortgage industry. And it's put together and hosted by Alex Susloff, our head of capital markets, and Billy Abrams, our head of ADM Securities. So it's a really informative piece that we would encourage you guys to subscribe to. It's posted on both our blog and our YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to our emails, you will, if you're on our either our partner or prospect lists, you should be receiving it again every Monday. Um, and again, that's on our blog. And usually we put it up every Monday. You'll see it typically with a red banner, and that brings me over to the blog. So let me go ahead and talk about that. Um, okay, so every week we produce a few blog posts. They range again from anything from Market Digest to authored articles. We did a $7 million deal a few weeks ago that we decided to tout on the blog. Um, we do authored pieces. Typically, they're insights from our CEO Max Lucerchuk, and we're about every 2 weeks we put one up. He's taking a look at the mortgage market, the capital market, similar to what Billy and Alex do, and put his spin on it and where he thinks the non-QM market is going. At any particular time, you'll find product updates. You'll find updates on our any major rate changes that we're doing. I've done some specialty posts myself about financing rural properties. Sometimes we'll do posts that are tied to a theme of the webinar we're having that week. So there's lots of good information here about if you're interested in doing rural properties. We did some on millennial home buyers, and announcing that we're now live streaming once we started doing that. So there's a lot of great information there. I would encourage you guys to check it out at least a couple times a week. Sometimes the posts that we put on our social media pages also turn into blog posts, or it's a teaser to something more detailed on the blog post. So the blog an important resource that we put together. Um, and with that, we'll just kind of wrap up our thoughts. So again, most companies' websites are pretty much their warehouse for everything that they do, sell, talk about. And so we're no different. You can find all of our major tech resources are housed here. So if you want to submit loans, go ahead and use the broker portal. If you want to price a loan, use the quick pricer. If you want to run your and manage all your appraisals, use Appraisal Center. If you want general information, you can find it on the blogs, on our webinars, on Learning Center. Um, oh, we didn't actually talk about one piece that is probably equally important to our broker partners, which is actually the information about the programs we offer. Um, on the programs tab, you'll find all the information about all of the loan products that we have. Most everyone details our high level underwriting criteria. Most of the non QM programs also have brief 1 to 1.5 minute videos about what they are, who the ideal product buyers are, and you'll see we've got all of our non-QM, prime jumbo, the investment loans for national programs or government offerings, which are predominantly FHA, and then all of our conventional program offerings. So again, you can watch a video about it, or you can go to the more detailed page where we have a little bit of narrative text about who these are for. We'll be making some enhancements to this section as well in the next few weeks. So there'll be an FAQ, and a few other additional items on the programs. We'll also be introducing, I can't exactly tell you when it's launching, but there will be a search function um, added here. So it'll be a little easier to find specific things if you're really micro targeted on everything. The support tab we didn't really cover, but that's where you can reach Nadia and Natalia, broker support, or if you need to get credentials. There's also some uh, video tutorials housed over there. And then the about us, if anyone is out there that's interested in joining our team, you can go to the career center page and take a look at any open positions we have if you want to be involved in any of the wholesale or retail side. There are a mix of office positions, remote positions. And then if you want to know a little bit about our management team, you can read about key people here. Um, and that's pretty much everything on our website. Let's go ahead and take a look. I don't see any questions come in yet on the chat, but I would encourage anybody that has any questions that we haven't been able to address in the span of our discussion here to go ahead and type them in. Nadia, when the brokers call into you, what are the areas they're most frequently looking towards on the website?
On the website, a lot of times it's like documents and forms,
Mhm.
a lot of times. because that's something, especially like mortgagee clause, because that's something that is not like on our main page, but everyone needs it at some point on every file. And quick pricer, of course.
Okay. Yeah, and I often get calls about, or and there's also, we haven't mentioned this either. There is a chat feature, so if you do have questions, you can
Hmm.
get right in touch with someone there. I believe it pops up within about 5 seconds of being on the site. And if I think if you have the ability to call to click, you can go right to an application that'll allow you to call right in to our. uh, Where does AD loans go? Does that go to you? I think that's a broker support line, possibly. Um, yeah, so that's those are the major areas that I've touched upon. All right, I am not seeing any questions, so we'll give another few seconds. I'll go ahead and do the wrap up slides,
Okay.
some of which we've already covered. Again, these are typically ways that you guys can engage with us. We've talked about Quick Pricer, Appraisal Center, and AD Studio, so don't need to really resource that. We looked at the webinar page, but again, we do these webinars live every Tuesday at 1 on all of our social media platforms. So again, over the next couple weeks, we're going to talk about investor loans, jumbo loans, self-employment, and then our correspondent channel. Again, the videos are all recorded and housed on the AD Learning Center, which I showcased for you. And if you're somehow watching us live stream from our social media but aren't aware of our other social media platforms, we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on YouTube, and I talked about Telegram, AD News Chat. So again, you can download that from Google Play or the App Store, and then you just subscribe to that AD Mortgage underscore bot, and you'll have access to all the information that we present there. And then we have an online forum that we're participants in with other brokers, other lenders called Non-QM Exchange. And that's a place where you could submit loan scenarios if you aren't submitting them to your account executive, or if you don't currently have an account executive. And we monitor it pretty regularly throughout the day, and we'll send those loan scenarios off to someone in our sales team that will get in touch with you. Um, and the most important feature for those people who don't know who we are, um, would be the become a partner button. So that would just be the join now button up here, and just fill out the broker package as Nadia has mentioned. And it's as easy as that. Fill out the paperwork. You'll get approved hopefully fairly quickly, and then you'll be in business to go use the partner login and use all the other tools that we've talked about. So that is everything that I have to cover. I still don't see any
Don't have any
questions.
questions?
So I think we're good to call it a day, Miss Nadia. So again, I want to thank you for your time today and helping me put this presentation together for our viewers.
Thank
Hopefully,
you, Carl, and thank you
hopefully
everyone
they've
who has
found
joined us.
this informative. And again, if you're watching this later, you can reach out to us either at marketing at admortgage.com or communications at admortgage.com. And what was the other one for broker support?
Broker
Broker
support
support
at
at admortgage.com.
admortgage.com.
Very original. Very original. All right. So with that, again, thank you everyone for your time, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.